Hello, darlings. The Dread Wolf is a separate entity from Solas, and Solas will let it inhabit him. Clues to this exist both in Tevinter Nights and in Trespasser.
The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends and fear in my enemies.
All through Dragon Age Inquisition, when Solas speaks of elves, he refers to them as the people, the elven people, or the elves.
But the people, they need me.
When Solas refers to his friends, on most occasions, he speaks of spirits.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages. My friend is a spirit of wisdom.
The Dread Wolf guides your soul to peace, a hint that the Dread Wolf is a spirit guiding the dead elf, as opposed to Solas himself. Thus, it would make sense for the Dread Wolf to be a spirit, even if corrupted and become a demon now, existing in the Fade and inspiring hope in the other spirits. In the story The Dread Wolf Take You by Patrick Weeks from Tevinter Nights, the Dread Wolf appears in the Fade as a demon with 6 eyes like a pride demon, lupine like a wolf in shape, and the size of a high dragon. While Solas can journey in the Fade as himself.
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort.
The duality could be symbolic, as explored in the past, and as seen in the tarot card of the major arcana, the Tower, where the Dread Wolf looms above Solas. In the image from The Dread Wolf Rises, the Dread Wolf is also a separate entity. In Dragon Age 2, Anders has allowed justice to reside within him. He is influenced by him sometimes, controlled by him, and has made poor decisions due to justice becoming vengeance. But they are still 2 separate entities, even if one hosts the other.
Let me help you, Solas.
I cannot do that to you, Vernan.
But you would do it to yourself? I cannot bear to think of you alone.
I walk the Dinan Shiral. There is only death on this journey. I would not have you see what I become.
If Solas hosts the Dread Wolf, he would also be affected similarly. The Dread Wolf could have begun as a spirit of wisdom or freedom, befriended by Solas, helping him when Solas needed a beastly or demon-like version of his name. The demon taking on the worst parts of Solas if the demon is corrupted, taking Solas's name, Solas's pride, Solas's wolf aspect. If Solas is not the monster, he will then host the monster and become an abomination. This would then explain him also needing the red lyrium idol, perhaps as a piece of his armor or part of a ritual involving the Dread Wolf, and would explain how Solas sounds in the trailer The Dread Wolf Rises.
So, you found me at last. I suspect you have questions.
If the Dread Wolf inhabits him, he'd sound like that. The other possibility would be to unleash the Dread Wolf into the world of Thedas, as Corypheus would have unleashed Nightmare. Unleashing and possession would both explain the Dread Wolf Rises title.
What is the old Danish curse? May the Dread Wolf take you?
Solas claims the reason he wouldn't be intimate with a lover, Lavalan,
I would not lay with you under false pretenses.
but he still denies that the Dread Wolf took Lavalan.
And so he did.
I did not.
I might be stretching it, but it could be an indication that the Dread Wolf is a separate entity. He also refers to the Dread Wolf as though it were a different being from himself, albeit it could be just in terms of the title, and perhaps simply to let others believe it was him, or on the flip side, to let others believe it was a separate entity.
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much.
Solas also deliberately doesn't tell us everything, and he chooses to let us know this, that he's not letting us know everything, that it would be too easy. And so suppose he hosts the Dreadwolf, and the Dreadwolf takes over him, as Justice sometimes took over Anders. The Dreadwolf Rises also works, and it's not Solas the monster. It really is the Dreadwolf, the monster. Solas still becomes something he doesn't want his Venan to see him become if he knows that this is coming, that this is happening. Or he will embody the Dreadwolf. Perhaps, on the flip side, if the Dreadwolf is not a separate entity, it could be a split personality or another aspect of himself that he doesn't want Venan to see. And then he would join the two aspects. Normally, reconciling the shadow self, as Carl Jung would explain, would be to not embody the shadow self, but to allow it to exist, but also be the benevolent being. But perhaps, because the Dreadwolf is so corrupted, if he reconciles or embodies his shadow self and allows it to be, perhaps he's been in denial, not allowing his shadow self to be, and so living almost as separate from his shadow self, even if it is the same entity. And then he becomes one with the shadow self, he becomes the shadow self. So perhaps, if it is the same entity, Solas ceases to exist and the Dreadwolf takes over. So either way, it doesn't really bode well. Also, it occurs to me, if Solas and the Dreadwolf are one and the same person, perhaps the Dreadwolf is the embodiment of Solas in the Fade. Solas is his living form, and the Dreadwolf is his Fade-like form, though Solas can appear as his regular form with certain people in the Fade, as we've seen in Inquisition. But the Dreadwolf would be his primary Fade-like shape and form. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe it's a separate entity, or do you believe it's him? Though technically, the argument could be made that if it is just his shadow self, even if he becomes it, it could be a separate entity. I'm on the separate entity trend here. Like this video if you like it, subscribe to be Rosie or Jimmy approved, Jimmy the Nug. Check out my book, my merch, and playlists to videos such as this one. More Dragon Age lore coming up, so stay tuned. Weekly videos, 2 videos a week. And I'll see you all soon. Maseranas. If you're new here and you like my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. Like it if you like it, for the like it if you like it dance. You can also follow my website, binkyproductions.com, where I post everything from all my channels. Exclusive! If you want to support me, consider buying my book, Stardust Destinies 1, Variant Facing, Magic, Dragons, Fantasy, all relevant links below. Thank you so much for your time. Your continued viewership is very much appreciated. Maseranas.